9 a.m. Why? What time is it there? 9 p. 8 p.
8,
7 p.m. 8
8,
p.m.
8 p.m. Yeah.
Jesus, dark.
Yeah. It's dark.
Like
It
properly
is.
dark. Isn't it
Yeah.
though? I remember who was I talking to? Was it Swanee or someone? And he was like, it gets dark really early in Australia, like all the time.
Yeah. I'm in New Zealand at the moment.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm just visiting
Same,
family.
it's the same thing though, isn't it? Same thing.
Yeah. It gets dark. Yeah. Pretty early. And this is daylight saving. We have daylight saving, and
Oh
then
yeah,
it gets light. Oh, it's light when it's late. Yeah.
it's light when it's dark and it's dark when it's light. It's fine. Um,
Yeah.
and where do you live all the time? Like full time? Where do you live?
I live in Australia now, in Brisbane.
Okay, but is that a recent
Yeah.
move?
Yeah, I moved 4 months ago. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
5 months ago.
So do you attribute
I
all of
think.
your recent CrossFit success to moving to Brisbane then?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I could say that. I definitely helped a lot. Yeah.
Where are you? You're from New Zealand originally, though. Whereabouts in New Zealand?
Rotorua, so like North Island, middle of the North Island.
Okay, is that like a city or a town or what?
It's like a small town.
Small town.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Um,
not very big.
is that near where Selwyn is?
No, Selwyn's in Christchurch. That's in the South Island. So like
Oh, okay.
it's like a 2 hour flight from
Oh,
Rotorua. Yeah. Yeah, I moved
um,
down to Christchurch. I don't know, like this. When did I move down to Christchurch? Like 2021. And
okay.
I was there for 2 years, or like a year and a bit or something. And then I
Oh,
just moved to Brisbane. Yeah,
why did you move to Christchurch?
just for CrossFit. It was just better. The
Okay,
Fowlers were down there. Marnie was down there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and is that why you moved to Brisbane as well then?
Yeah. Oh, and because Mans was going team, so it just made sense.
Okay.
And I feel like I needed a change, and I wanted to be somewhere where it was like warmer to like lead up to Torian, because like it was getting like real cold in Christchurch, and it was going to get colder like leading up to Torian. So I wanted to.
What's real cold? Like what's what's noticeably cold in
um
Christchurch? Do you do Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Celsius. So
Okay, yeah.
it'd be like 0 degrees, between 0 and like 10, I would say.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's pretty similar to here
Like,
then. Winter.
yeah, yeah.
It's pretty
Like, so
similar to our summer as well, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty close to
yeah,
our winter.
yeah. I hate the cold, so
Yeah. Well, you're better off, I suppose, going from, that kind of like shit weather and then going to Madison. You would have like really hit a wall. Day one would have
yeah,
been
yeah,
rough. Um,
yeah.
how far is Brisbane from Christchurch?
It's like three. I think it's like 3.5 hours in a plane.
It's crazy then that is it up though? Is
Yeah,
that why it's warmer?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you.
yeah. Um, okay, and have you got brothers and sisters and stuff?
Yeah, I got a brother and a younger sister. My brother's two. I think he's 2 years younger.
Okay,
And yeah, he's in Brisbane. He moved over to Brisbane before me, like a year before me, and that's what kind of why I moved over as well, because he convinced me to move
okay.
as
What does
well.
he
Yeah,
do?
he has CrossFit. He
Oh, okay.
um he qualified in the teenagers twice. I qualified once.
What's his name?
Yeah, Riley Martin.
Oh,
He's going to qualify next year.
for the games.
Yeah, he finished 11th at Torian this year, which was pretty good considering that he didn't do much training for it.
Oh, I give him a little follow there.
Yeah, nice.
Jeez, he's a big boy, isn't he?
He's a lot bigger than me.
Yeah, he's a big chap. Um, so so he's 2 years younger than you, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, 2 years younger.
were you the first in your family to start doing CrossFit then?
Yeah, yeah. He started, yeah, probably like a couple of months after me. I went to a workout with my dad. He found CrossFit. My dad found CrossFit, and then he convinced me to go with him, and then I think Riley just was like, "Oh, I want to come along."
What age were you,
And
like
then
15, 16?
I would have been 13, and my
Oh,
brother would
okay.
have been 11. Yeah,
Wow.
we didn't like we didn't we slowly started doing CrossFit. We didn't just like go into classes and just start doing them every week. We kind of like probably took us like maybe 3 months to get into it properly. I'd say
Mm. Why did your
maybe 2
dad
months.
why did your dad bring you to it? What did he think you'd like about it? Or was it just is he just like kind of health enthusiastic?
Yeah, he played rugby and you know how rugby players they kind of do CrossFit as like extra training,
Yeah.
kind of they do like cross training, what they call it. Yeah, so he found CrossFit and said, "Oh, like let's do this for like extra training for." I was playing soccer at the time or football, and and yeah, he found that and he's like, Let's go do this and try it out." And then we just stuck doing it, just enjoyed it too much.
And did your mum do it as well?
Yep, she does it. She still does it.
And
Yeah.
your sister?
Yep, she's kind of just started. She's doing, I think it's New Zealand nationals. She's doing the qualifiers. Just finished doing the qualifiers like
Okay.
yesterday or something. Yeah.
So you're obviously just like an athletic fan. Is your mum sporty as well? Or is she sporty because of your dad or was she like already sporty?
She was sporty back in like when she was at school and stuff like that. I think she played hockey. I think that was her.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I actually don't know.
That's so
she was a good runner. She was she
yeah.
did athletics and stuff. And then my dad was a good runner as well. He was like a sprinter, and then he played rugby. Played
What
rugby
level did
for New
he
Zealand.
play rugby? Did he play for New Zealand, as I said?
Yeah, he played New Zealand sevens.
Oh wow, okay.
So yeah,
So he's
yeah,
like he's pretty
yeah,
good.
he wanted me to play. Yeah, 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 he was good. He wanted me to play rugby, but
Because
I was timid
sevens
with
is like
it.
sevens is the same size as a regular rugby pitch, but instead of there being 15 in each team, there's only seven, and it's like all just sprint, 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 like nonstop.
Yeah, yeah, it's just real
Yeah.
fast game.
That's they do that in the Olympics, don't they? Rugby sevens, I think.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And how recently was he doing that?
he, I think he stopped when I was like 2 years old.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get
So
like the perks of
he was yeah, he was playing before I was born and then stopped, like, just after.
okay. So
Yeah.
you didn't get the like strutting onto the yard at school, being like, yeah,
Nah,
my dad plays for New
nah,
Zealand.
nah, nah, didn't
Yeah.
get any of that.
That's the yeah, because that's the whole like start of what do you guys call it? Elementary school or primary school? What do you call it?
What do we call it? No, we call it primary school.
Yeah, in primary
Primary
school,
school,
that's
yeah.
the first like little bit of primary school is like basically 4-year-olds telling each other that their dad would kick the shit out of their dad. Like
Yeah,
that's the whole first like 2 months, just like my dad would murder your dad. It's just like, yeah, my dad would kick the shit out of your dad, and then gradually you
yeah,
grow out of that and you just think it internally. Um
yeah, yeah.
That's funny. Okay. And so he finished playing rugby. He was playing CrossFit, and then or was doing CrossFit. Was he amateurly playing rugby after that? You know, like just for like, did he stop playing rugby altogether when
Oh,
you were
yeah,
two? Or
yeah. No, he didn't stop. He did, play rugby for, like, random clubs and stuff, and he
yeah,
like, not all the time, but, like, he would get called in and stuff like that, and he would play. He
yeah,
kinda, was playing touch, which is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you could say it's like rugby, but you don't tackle. Yeah, he was playing that.
Rugby light, rugby light. Yeah. So, yeah, he'd probably be a pretty would have been pretty in demand, especially at the start. They'd be like, you know, who we should call. I think that Martin guy lives near here somewhere. We could call him. He'd do a job. So he started doing CrossFit, and then was like, did he have athletic aspirations for you guys? Then was he like, um, I don't want to say was he overbearing, because even if he was, you're not going to say he was. But was he like keen for you guys to also be sporty and to follow that side of things? Like, was he kind of not pushy, but like
Yeah,
encouraging of
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. He made us train a lot when we didn't want to.
Really, even at
Like,
home, like, or just go to gym?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
probably why I've done well in CrossFit, just because he put us through our paces, me and Riley, probably Riley the worst.
Why? What kind of stuff did he have an eye, a special eye? Was O'Reilly always bigger? Was that why he was kind of eyeing him up?
Nah, no, he wasn't bigger. He just, I don't know. I would always suck up to dad and listen, where he would be like, "No, I don't want to do anymore." I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll keep running." Yeah.
You'd be like wiping the puke off your mouth, being like, "Yeah, it's fine, Dad. I'll go again."
Yeah,
Um,
Riley will be like, "I want to go home," and he'd be like, "Go for another run."
so would he bring the two of you off somewhere then?
Yeah, like because we would do athletics, so we would run like down to school that was just down the road a little bit, and then we'd do workouts in the garage. Like we'd do like pull ups and like core workouts and stuff like that.
And did you know
Not
what you were
really.
doing? Were you
No.
just like a blank
We'd,
canvas,
we
just being like, "Yeah, sure, Dad,
yeah,
whatever you want."
yeah. We were just listening, just do
Yeah,
what he
well,
said.
well, you were just listening. It doesn't sound like Riley was doing much of that. um, oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so he was obviously like he enjoyed playing sport. He liked what it gave him, and then he wanted you guys to do the same, to have the same kind of opportunities, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he never forced us to play rugby. He gave us the option. Like, he wants me to play for the Broncos still. That's been like his goal, like to make me play for the Broncos. But I don't know. I used to play rugby like not like randomly. I'd play like a year or like league, but it just never I just never stuck around doing it. I just hated getting tackled. I was
Yeah, that's fair.
I was yeah, I was a little pussy.
What position do you play?
Um, I don't know. I'll probably winger. I was probably a winger.
Yeah, okay.
Winger, yeah.
I suppose the
I
only
didn't
like
play
you're
much at all.
yeah, if you're a winger, I suppose you're less likely
Yeah,
you're going to be
to
tackled.
get
If you're
hit.
tackled, you're going to be tackled really fucking hard because you're probably going to be running full pelt when you get hit. But at least you're not
Yeah.
like consistently going into tackles in the middle over and over again. Like you can kind of
Yeah,
stand at
yeah.
the back, and be like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for the ball. I'm just going to wait over here. Like I'll just stand
Yeah,
back
yeah,
here." Um,
yeah.
all right. So then you started doing CrossFit, and then was there a point in time where it stopped being or can you remember a point in time where it stopped being your dad telling you, "Oh, come on, we'll go to CrossFit," and it started being you being like, "Oh, I want to go and do this myself."
Yeah, it was probably a little while after the 2014 Open.
Okay.
So I heard about, Rich Froning, so I kinda, like, started looking on YouTube and looking at him, and then I started noticing, like, I was getting more, like, bigger muscles on my arms and stuff like that, and I was, like, looking in the mirror going, "Oh, shit, I'm, like I'm getting a bit bigger." So I kinda got, like, addicted to going, and I just enjoyed it, and then kept going. I think started going, like, 3 times a week, like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like, that was, like, the normal thing, and then I started saying, like, "Mum and Dad, I wanna go every day," like, Monday, to Friday, and then I would play soccer on the weekend,
What
and
age were
then
you
I
in
think
2014?
I would have been, 13 and then turned 14 in May.
Oh, okay. And were
So,
you like
yeah.
noticeably different from the other 13 or 14-year-olds in your class then?
I was just like a shredded little kid, like, my mum and dad birthed me with abs, so I used to walk around with no top on all the time at school. I think I was
Yeah,
cool.
walking into maths class with your top off. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were destined to do CrossFit. And what was it about Froning then that you saw that you liked?
I don't know, he just made everything look easy, and he just looked good doing everything.
Yeah.
Like, his technique, and I don't know, he just made CrossFit look so easy and then you wanna go try it, and then it wasn't easy. You're like, how is this guy this good and making it look that good?" And it's
Yeah,
kinda like
effortless,
made me wanna
effortless.
do more, yeah. Yeah.
Uh, um, and then so you qualified for the games as a teenager, isn't that right? In like 2006, 17?
17, yeah,
17.
yeah.
And was that like a deliberate thing? Were you like, I want to go and do this, or did it just kind of snowball into
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah, so when they announced that they were doing teenagers in 2015, I'd been doing it for, like, a year, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll see if I can try and make the games." and I knew that they took top 40 men, so I had in my head that they'll take top 40 teenagers. I think I finished like I think I finished like 40th or 38th, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to the games."
Yeah,
And
so
then they said,
naive.
yeah, yeah. And then they took top 10,
Yeah.
and then I think the next year I tried, but I moved up in age group, so I still finished like 40th. And then the next year I was like, right, I want to try and qualify like started training properly and got like a
Mm.
coach and made sacrifices by not going and like hanging out with my mates and stuff. I'd train in the mornings and afternoons, and yeah, it paid off.
So even then, like to make it that time as a teenager, you were like, "Oh no, sorry, I can't go to your party. I can't go to whatever." But there's no, you were already
Yeah,
sacrificing social things.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mostly back then, yeah. Because I think I was second to last year of school then, and then the next year of like high school, I just dropped out because I just didn't like school.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah,
What age are you then? 17.
yeah, I would have been 17. Yeah.
And is there an age? Are you allowed to stop school whenever you want, or do you have to be at least 16 or 17 or whatever?
Um, I don't know. I'm pretty sure in New Zealand you can pretty much stop whenever you want. Like, but
Like 6-year-olds. I
I
think
don't.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done with
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. I'm done later.
Just take
Yeah,
it off your
I think.
t-shirt, walking out the door.
Yeah, yeah. I think most like people in high school would drop out in year 12 or
Okay.
13. They would miss the final year, which was year 13, and I just missed the final year. I was like had like 50% attendance in year 12 because I was training for the games and stuff
And what did
in
your parent? What did your
2017.
parents think of that? Because there's kind of two sides to it, I suppose. Where if your dad has always had these kind of athletic aspirations for you, and he's like, oh, like I would have been the same, and I would have like been keen to improve and blah blah blah, and like it's great he has
Yeah,
these real life skills of like determination and drive, and he knows what he wants and he's going after it. But then there's also the flip side of it, like he's fucking up his whole future because he's like missing school, and like that as a parent,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you've got both of those things balancing in your
yeah.
head. Was it like did it lead to stress at home and stuff? Did they get it? Did they like try and dissuade you or anything?
Nah, they kind of encourage me and Riley to train for it, and like we would travel like an hour. So we lived in Rotorua, and then we'd travel to Mount Maunganui, which is like yeah, an hour away. We used to train at Mount CrossFit. That was where we did most of our games training, and they were fine with it. They didn't care really. And then it was just after the games they said, right, you should probably go back to school and just finish the year off. Yeah. So they weren't too bad. They weren't like, oh, you should be getting good grades or anything. They didn't really care.
Oh, your school runs up to summer, like your summer, so it stops in like what, December, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I was like, what do you mean finish the year? So the year ends in June, but yeah, that's us.
Oh,
um,
does your oh
yeah,
far out.
so I start work now tomorrow. So that's our first day
Yeah.
back at school is tomorrow. And then I'll
Yeah.
finish like the last Friday of June, basically, will be my last day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, far
Um,
out. I didn't even know that.
yeah. Now we still get other time off. We get like a week at Halloween, 2 weeks at Christmas, 2 weeks at Easter, a week in February or whatever. But yeah, it's basically just
Yeah.
the opposite of your calendar. Everything's the opposite.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
we walk like upright as well. You guys are upside down, but we walk like just normally on the ground. It's like it's crazy. And I think according according to
What the
according to the Simpsons, our toilets flush opposite to your
Oh,
toilets
yeah,
go
yeah.
anti-clockwise as
Yeah,
go clockwise.
it's so weird, how it
Yeah,
does.
yeah. Okay, so then when you qualified for the games, then when you were there, if you, like so a lot of your understanding of CrossFit or expectations towards CrossFit were probably based off like watching Froning and that kind of stuff. And then you had this without trying to insult you, I suppose you had this kind of naive thought maybe of what it would be like to be at the games. If you were like, oh, like maybe top 40
Yeah,
teams would go, you probably had a very different idea of what it was going to be like to when you actually
yeah.
arrived at the games. When you were there as a teenager and competing, how did that feel? Was it like overwhelming, underwhelming? Did you feel like was it a bit of a letdown? Was it bigger than you thought it would be? Like how did you respond to it?
Um, I feel like it wasn't a letdown, but you know where they do the teenagers now in that little, like, what is it, age pavilion or whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
we only worked out in there and then North Park. We never got to go into the Coliseum that year.
yeah.
So that was kinda stink, but it was like the games was hard, like, the workouts were hard, everyone was good. I thought I was good, like, I thought I was be, like, top 5, and I think I was getting, like, close to last in a lot of the workouts, and then I'd do okay in some, but, yeah, everyone was just so good, and I put too much pressure on myself and didn't enjoy it at all.
What kind of pressure were you putting on yourself?
I don't know, just I don't know, I just thought I was gonna do well, and I just was like, "Right, you need to go out there and, like, show people what you can do and, like, prove to people," but even though you didn't need to prove anything, and
Hmm.
if I did bad in the workout, I'd be like, "Oh, you suck, like, what the hell happened in there?" Well, I didn't need to be like that, I should have just enjoyed it and just taken everything in.
Yeah, but you're also like whatever, 16, 17. So like,
Yeah,
so you like
yeah,
now it's easy now to say like, oh, I should have been more
yeah,
mature and I should have, like I should have had a
yeah,
broader
yeah,
world outlook. Had you
yeah.
a coach with you or anything, or who was helping you?
I had a coach called Luke McGrew at the time.
Okay.
He competed in, like, regional, like, 5 years or something.
And was he in
Yeah,
that
he wa
Mount CrossFit? Was that his gym?
yeah, yeah, that's why I was traveling to Mount CrossFit, yeah.
Um, and
So
when you were
he
at
helped
Mount
he helped
CrossFit,
he helped a lot.
was it you and Riley? Was there others, like other teenagers or other like, aspiring regionals athletes or whatever there as well?
Um, it was me and Riley. There was a guy called Ash Rusendale. He was like I think he was a teenager then. He was like 2 years older than me, so he would've
Yeah.
been 19. He was always better than me, so I just chase him down, and
Yeah.
then I would try and, like, beat my coach in
Because it's
some
something
workouts
it's
and stuff.
something I always wonder about, like with like it's such a hard sport in that kind of way where you can only really compare yourself to the people that you're training with day to day, and then you
Yeah.
like you say you go to the games and you're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking dominate this, and then like
Yeah, yeah,
5
that's what it
workouts in,
was
you're like,
like.
oh shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. Yeah.
And like, were you able to verbalize that? Like, were you able to explain that you were pissed off and that, like, or maybe like during it, were you able to think like, oh, maybe I'm putting too much pressure on yourself, or is this like only now that you're able to think that kind of way?
Yeah, like, now I'm thinking like that, like,
So
this now.
how long after? So you finished the games, you didn't enjoy it. That first time you didn't enjoy it, and then it ends in whatever August. How long after that were you like, as soon as you left the games? Were you like, "Oh, the fire's lit now. I need to get better. I need to blah," or were you like, "Fuck this, I'm out. Like, sign me up to Broncos."
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I knew I was gonna continue doing CrossFit, but I probably, like, had more focus on, like, New Zealand competitions, like the nationals and stuff like that. That was what I was looking towards, like, I was gonna try and win those or something. But I think I did the next year, I think it was
Hmm.
Down Under Championship, and I still thought I was good. It was like, "Oh, I don't need to train much. I'm good. I'll probably go there and
I've
crush
I've
it."
been to the games. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, I did that, and then I got smoked. I think I got, like, 60th, and then one of the guys that competed with me at the games, Luke De Jong,
Oh
you
yeah,
might know him. Yeah, he finished 5th, and I was like, "What the hell happened to me?" He's finishing 5th, and I'm finishing 60th, and, like, me and him finished, like, I think it was, like, 10th or, like, 13th and 14th at the game, so, like, we were close, and then all of a sudden, 1 year later, he's smoking me,
yeah.
and I was like, "What what happened?"
So was the
And then
difference
I
that
kinda
he was consistently training CrossFit, trying to get better, and you
Ye
were like,
yeah,
you were living off your glory of like, well, I've been to the game, so this
yeah,
is fine.
yeah, yeah, I think so, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay. Are you do you still chat to him?
yeah. He's injured. I think he's hurt his
Yeah.
knee multiple
He's
times, yeah,
he seems to be coming back from it though, because he had a
yeah,
really big year at Torian like 2 years ago or something, and then
yeah,
injured his knee and yeah,
Yeah,
he seems to be like on the recovery track. 'Cause he seems kind of cool. He seems like he's good fun.
yeah. He's a good dude. Yeah.
Um, so what then? What next? Were you like? Was that kind of a switch flicking point of like, oh fuck, I need to actually get my head down and do some work if I want to be good at this, or did that further
Yeah.
compound the like, I'm finished, I'm washed up?
Yeah. It was like a bit of both. I got like a reality check. Like I was like, okay, you need to start training if you want to do well at competitions.
Yeah,
I still didn't train harder. I still was doing classes and stuff like that. And then when it came to competitions, I would start training like 2 weeks out because like that's all I knew. But I took it a little bit more serious. Not like what I do now, not even close.
yeah.
But I was definitely when he finished fifth and I finished 60th, I was like, wow, you definitely suck at CrossFit now.
And what was there? So what age you were like? What 18 then
Yeah, I
ish?
would have been 18. Yeah, yeah,
And then so the next time on even just on say the .com gains profile kind of stuff, the next time you pop up is like Torian then like 2021. Had you been doing much in
yeah.
between those two?
Nah, would have just been New Zealand competitions. That would have been it. Just New Zealand competitions. Yeah. No.
But did you still have like, was the games a thought? Like, were you like, oh, I'd love to go to semifinals, or were you just kind of touring around a bit?
Uh, I wanted to qualify for semis. I didn't think I could that year. I kind of like fluked it, but it happened, and I kind of didn't. I wanted to make the games growing up, but I didn't think I ever would. Kind of.
Yeah,
I wanted to, but like didn't know if it was going to happen. I didn't know when it would happen or what. And then that year, I just did well at Torian, and that's when I was like, oh, maybe I should try and make the games. Yeah,
yeah. You don't just do well at Torian though. Like, it's funny because when you're talking about
I know. Yeah,
like when you're talking about not doing well, you say like, "Oh, I fucked up and I didn't put in the work and I wasn't taking it seriously and blah blah." And then when you do well, you're like, "Yeah, it's just a fluke. I don't know what happened. It's just bizarre. Like, doesn't make any sense." And it's like, well, you
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
just changed your attitude and like your efforts
yeah,
in between those two things. Um,
yeah,
so you finished eighth that year, and then you were back the next year and you finished sixth, and you were
yeah,
in so third, fourth, no, fourth, fifth, and sixth went to last chance qualifiers then that second year. Is that right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah,
Um, and then so you did the last chance qualifiers. Um, like, did you enjoy that first year at Torian? Was maybe you're saying it was a fluke, so maybe you weren't expecting it as much. But the second year, you're obviously like, you dial things in even more. You were taking it more seriously,
yeah.
whatever. Did you enjoy that second thing, second year at Torian? Did you enjoy that more than like the teenage games or more than the first year at Torian?
Yeah. Yeah, Torian, the actual competition itself was, like, awesome. I like it's so cool competing there. It was just cool being out on the floor, and then I managed to stay in the top heat the whole weekend, so that was, like, a huge highlight. But, like,
Yeah.
I still would beat myself up if I did bad in an event, that's what I was doing as a teenager. I wouldn't do it as bad, but I would I would make a mistake in a workout, and I'd be like, "Ah," like, that's get
Oh,
really
like
down about
so
it.
you'd like, I don't know, whatever. You drop the bar, say, instead of holding on in a certain set. Would you be
Yeah, yeah.
immediately beating yourself up, or are you talking about like wait after you've
Nah,
left the floor?
after I've left the floor, yeah.
Okay. And
I
do other
still
people like
yeah.
do you hide that? Like, so when you're walking off, are you like smiling and being like, "Oh yeah, it's great, mate," and then in your head be like, "You piece of shit," like.
Uh, I would say a bit of both, like, try and hide it, but I think I'm hiding it, but probably not. People probably like, "What's his
Yeah,
problem?"
people are like, "Why is Bailey crying?" And you're like, "I'm
Yeah.
this is totally fine."
Well,
Um,
yeah.
like, were there other people with you? So when you were competing at Torian, did you have a coach with you, or did you have like mates that were also competing or anything?
Yeah, I had that's when, Marnie, Ben, Mads, and
Okay.
Luke were competing as a team. So like I had all them around,
And were they
and I had my
noticing it? Like,
dad.
were they like, "Oh, like, he's doing it again?"
Nah, because I didn't really like know them for that long. Like I'd
Yeah.
only known them for maybe not even a year, I think. And
Were
so they would
you
just
were
be like,
you
"Ah,
and Marnie, courting at that time?
uh, yeah, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so if they're like so they're on a team, the 4 of them, like, they kinda have each other during and after workouts and stuff, and then you're competing solo.
yeah,
Did you feel like left out a bit or anything there? Like that it was like that the 4 of them could be like, like celebrating with each other after a workout, whatever, and then you're just kinda like
yeah,
walking off.
yeah. I kind of like I I kind of had the idea that I was more important back then because, which was bad. I was like, I'm going indie. I'm the more important one. So I was kind of like, not, I was, I don't know, not jealous, but like, I was just thinking about myself instead of just being like super happy for them and then just focusing on myself. I was kind of like, why don't I have a coach? Why aren't you guys like all around me sort of thing? Because I was indie.
Yeah,
I thought this like, indie was like you're super important. Everyone needs to be like doing everything for you, but it wasn't like that. It
yeah.
was like
How
just
how
you do your
how does
thing.
that, manifest itself with? Because like, you're mates with the 2 boys, and then you're going
Yeah.
out with Marnie, so, like, does it lead to tension or arguments or anything, or is all of this
No.
kind of stuff that you're saying with the benefit of hindsight? Like, is this all, like, looking back, I was jealous, as opposed to at the time being like, "Fuck you guys, like, I'm going on my own, I'm more important."
Yeah, yeah. Like it was more like in my head. Like I don't think I would shout. I don't know if I would shout, but like it was fine. Like I still got along with Ben and Luke fine. Like
Yeah,
and there was everything with like Mans was fine. It was just more me just having problems with myself pretty much.
um
Yeah.
okay, so you did better your second year than your first year, but you're still beating yourself up a bit, and you're still like, you still have these, I don't know what you call them, like demons, I suppose. And then,
Demons, yeah.
uh, did you enjoy doing the last chance qualifiers? Is that a bit shit? Like, is it a bit of an anticlimax doing that? Is it hard to lift yourself up for that?
Yeah, that was probably like the shittest time I've had doing CrossFit. I
Wow.
it was like yeah, it was cold. I didn't really want to do them. I was like, I stopped training after Torium for a bit, and then I had to get back into it so I could try and do these well. And then I just hated doing them, and I got sick. Sick. Like I started getting sick on the first day, and then the second day I was like gone. I was out.
What
I was
did
like,
you
just
hate? Did
bullshit.
you hate the fact that it was online, or did you like, had you kind of resigned yourself to the fact that, like, well, I'm not going anyway? So then,
Yeah,
that
pretty
kind of,
much.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like I knew I didn't work for it, so I didn't deserve to go anyway. And I knew that like there was a lot of good people doing it, and it was like cold. The team was already going to the games, and like again, I thought I was like indie, like everyone should be doing everything for me, kind of thing. But like it didn't really matter, sort of thing. It was like the last chance qualifier. Like there was so many good dudes doing it. It was just like they would come down. Linda, the fella's mum, she would judge me and stuff like that, which was good. But I just wasn't in the headspace to be sending workouts and just trying
yeah.
to qualify for the games. I wanted to qualify through semi-finals, not through like a last chance qualifier.
I think there's obviously, it doesn't matter anymore because last chance qualifiers are gone. But I think it seems to have been a very common theme for people, where you would see people miss out at semifinals, qualify for last chance, qualifiers, and then you'd look at the leaderboard at the end and be like, "What the fuck happened to them? They should have been top 2 or 3 or whatever," and they're like 13th,
Yeah,
14th,
yeah,
15th. And I think it's always just that thing of like,
yeah,
they're just like, "Oh, really?" Like, they can't like lift themselves up for it. They can't like push themselves
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's tricky. It's a tricky one to manage, I suppose. Um, so then they went to the games. So the team went to the games, and you went with them, um, as like, you were doing media for them. You were doing.
Yeah, I was like their like photographer and then like coach. I would just
Yeah.
give them Gatorades and tell them when they're on and all that sort of stuff.
Because they were on the show, they were on this show like from Chicago, I think, and you were in the room, or as Kiefer put
Naked.
it, they, as Kiefer put it, you were in the room and they happened to be on the show at the same time. So if you were annoyed, if not annoyed, but if you were like feeling like jealous and a bit like frustrated and stuff in the lead up, like did that dissipate then once like you knew you weren't going and like were you able to just
Yeah.
be fully happy for them, or was there still any
Oh
part of you
yeah.
that was like fuck this?
Nah, I was fine. Like my season was done. I didn't have to train for anything anymore. I was just trying to help them out as much as I could, support them. It was actually really fun being able to go over with them,
Yeah.
and take photos and just like because that's like my hobby, taking photos of people doing CrossFit and stuff like that. So that was cool. Just like being a part of their like journey at the games and stuff.
um I'm looking for, how did you get into photography and stuff? Were you doing it already, or did you just like,
Yeah, I was doing it. I used to make videos like of myself on Instagram and stuff, and then I met the crispy dudes, and they like kind of got me into it more, like as like a business side, and like I don't know, they just taught me some stuff, and then I just found the love for it, sort of thing.
um sorry, I'm having to fucking change like loads of settings to, oh my god, I'll try this and see if it works. um does that work?
Yeah. What is? Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
that's your page.
yeah. It's
So
just
you,
all of money.
it's just like, yeah, it's the shrine. So that's them. That was back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was quarters. Yeah,
Yeah.
quarterfinals for them. Yeah,
Well, you were also competing at this time, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
So you
I
like,
kind of wanted to like I wanted to create like hype around them as well because like I knew they were
yeah.
definitely going to the games, and I knew they would probably do well at the games too. So I wanted to like almost show the world like what these guys can do because no one else was doing it for them, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I had them on the show, but whatever. um,
Oh, yeah. Yes,
um,
yes, you did. Yeah,
geez, you do good work, man. This is good.
thanks.
That's a random one.
Yeah, that's a wedding.
It's just, it looks so out of place with the other ones.
I
It's all
know.
like,
And
and
there's
this one,
look, there's
the
dogs.
dog, the
There's
dog, the car, the
cars.
wedding. It's like crosser, 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 dog.
Yeah, random stuff.
That's funny. Um, that's cool. So crispy boy, that's cool. Um, so you're following them around. You're doing videos for them. You're helping them. You're handing them Gatorades and stuff. Did that give you a different perspective on the games? Like, does that give you a different perspective on competing when you were able to hear them coming off the floor talking and stuff, and you being like, like, did it kind of make you aware of how you think or how you sound when you're competing, or was that even a thought?
Nah, I thought I might get like I don't know, like people say that that's when the fire got lit and I just wanted to make the games. I didn't get any of that. I just enjoyed being with the team, helping them out. Like I just enjoyed doing that, taking photos of them. It was just I enjoyed it so much. I didn't even worry about the indies.
Mm,
Didn't get jealous or anything. I was just like, this is cool. Like I could have done it the next year. Say I something happened, I got injured. I would have happily done it to another team, like Marnie's team this year. I would have
yeah.
happily taken photos of them. Like I enjoyed it so much.
Oh, like maybe Marnie's mental health is better than yours, but if she was coming off the floor after a workout or after competition or something and was like talking negatively, uh, or like any athlete, if you heard any athlete talking to you and talking negatively, are you able to,
Yeah,
like, do you lie and be like, oh no, like, don't be silly, you shouldn't think like that, even though that's how you think? Or do you just say, like, if she's
yeah.
like, oh, I did really
Well, like
bad, yeah, yeah, you did fucking terribly in that, you should be ashamed of yourself.
No, like, I know that you shouldn't think like that, and, like, watching them back then, like, I knew that they did well, and then if
Yeah,
they came off and said, "Oh, we did shit," I'll be like, "No, you guys didn't, like, you guys did well. At least you maybe made some mistakes or something, but you guys still did well. Whatever happened out there, like, you can't if you were gonna fix it, you'd fix it out there, so, like,
yeah.
you can't do anything. I'll just move on to the next one." Like, I knew how to, like, be a mentor/coach, slash coach, but
I was gonna say, if you're
with
saying that
my
stuff out loud, are you like, do you
I
believe
know.
that? Do you believe that at all
Yeah.
when you're saying it, or you do, but you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
believe it
yeah,
when you're talking
yeah.
to, you don't believe it when you're telling it to yourself, or you can't tell it to yourself?
No, because I can't tell it to myself because 'cause I'm just like, "No, you're a piece of shit, you suck, you should do better," sort of thing.
God, I'm
Yeah.
almighty. It must be a dark place in your head if a workout goes badly. Okay, and then so after, when did you start working with underdogs then?
I think it was, like, October,
Of that,
2022.
yeah, okay, that same year. And what was it?
Yeah.
They were, uh, they all joined underdogs, didn't they? That same, did they? Am I misremembering that? Did the boys join
Yeah,
underdogs as well, Luke?
Luke did.
Yeah.
Ben's been on Mayhem and stayed on Mayhem, and then Marnie, joined Underdogs as well
Okay.
then, because she didn't know if she was going well, there was no talk about a team then, so she was
Yeah.
doing Underdogs. Yeah.
And what happened? Because underdogs has a big presence in Australia, which,
Yeah.
like maybe somewhat randomly, considering they're in Vegas. Is that based off like Ricky's success and seeing like how well he's done with them, or like what is it about underdogs that made people kind of think, oh, maybe they might be a good option?
I don't know.
Oh my god,
Like,
that's been building for
I
so long. That sneeze, my god. Sorry.
they, they approached me through Instagram, just out of the blue. I was like I didn't have a coach or a program I was doing at the time,
So you just following your own stuff
and
then, or what?
I was just doing I think I was like, the boys were doing Mayhem, so I would just jump in with them. Or
Free
just
free
do
programming. Send me a
yeah,
screenshot
yeah,
of that, please. Send me a screenshot of
yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes,
So
I'll
they
just
they
do
DM'd you and said we can help or whatever.
yeah, they said, "Would you like to join?" I think they had a new program or a new new program coming
Yeah,
up. It was called, like, the
they were kind of
Elite.
pushing harder at that time. Yeah,
Yeah, like, it was, like, the Elite Plus program, and they said, "It's only, like, invite only, so we'd be happy to, coach you," and stuff like that, and they knew who I was. They knew, like, where I placed at, Torian and stuff, so they probably had an idea of, like, who they wanted on their program.
yeah.
Yeah.
And was is that flattering? Or are you like, oh, this is cool, like that someone's kind of
Yeah.
cherry picking? Yeah, okay,
Well, yeah, because Justin, Kotler, like, I was a big fan of him, and it was
yeah.
pretty crazy that I think they, reached out, and then, like, maybe, like, a week or 2 later, I was talking to him like this pretty much, and it was kinda crazy.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin's a cool guy. And then, so did you, when you started working with them and when you started like having calls and having like, more of a coach, I suppose, than just following programming, did you notice a shift? Like, did you notice a change? Were you like, oh, geez, I feel better than last year. I feel stronger. I feel like more prepared or whatever? Or was
Yeah.
it kind of, yeah, okay.
Yeah, just definitely more structured and just knew what I was doing, and then just having someone there that I could talk to
Yeah.
and that would explain training, and
I would,
also Justin helped with the mental side as well, like, he
yeah, I was going to
not like,
say,
he didn't
at what point did they realize that you were damaged goods and start trying to work on that?
yeah. He like, he didn't know I was damaged.
First conversation, he hangs up and he's like, "Yeah, we need to help him."
Yeah, yeah. Now he said something in one of the calls, like, "You need to just take your medicine on workouts that don't suit you." So, like, you don't expect to do well if you haven't trained well for it, sort of thing. So just
Yeah,
say I suck at swimming, I can't expect to win the swimming workout because I'm not good at swimming. So just if you come 30th, that's where you're supposed to be. Take your medicine and move on to the next event. He said that, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I kind of took that with me later on to Torian and the games and stuff.
and So when we were at the games, I met you and Kiefer, and I was kind of joking with you, like messing around with the camera and stuff, and I
Yeah.
felt like Kiefer was like, "Shut up!" Like he was like, "Don't pull." Like I felt like he was like, "Don't pull that thread." When I started saying like, uh, you kind of mentioned that when you were a teenager that you used to beat yourself up a bit and blah blah. Actually, maybe that was
Yeah.
afterwards. Maybe that was when we were walking in the paddock. But anyway, before at the athlete registration thing, you kind of said something. I picked up on it, and then Kiefer was like, "No, like we're not trying to." He was like, "Shut up! Like we're not talking about pressure and blah blah." Like he was like, we're
Yeah.
working on our mental game and stuff. Um, how much, apart from the odd call and stuff with Justin, how much like FaceTime did you have with the unit as coach? Like how much time did they have to get to know you and stuff? And to, I guess, like what I'm digging at is from talking to you at the games, like two or three times, you did not seem like the type of person who would beat the shit out of yourself
Yeah.
during or after a
Yeah.
workout. So like what
Yeah.
you're talking about as a teenager and even up until whatever 2022 to now, like it's less than a year, but it's a drastic shift in mentality. And I'm trying to figure out, is that like solo work on your part? Did they pick up on it and say like, like say Justin makes that comment, but he's not deliberately saying, he's not saying
Yeah.
like Bailey needs to hear this. He's just kind of saying it. And then you obviously pick up on it.
Yeah.
Do you just
Yeah.
take that and add that into different things? Or do Justin and Kiefer
Yeah.
say like, hey, we need to talk about the mental performance side of things as well as just the physical?
Nah, they didn't sit me down and, like, say, "Let's talk
Listen,
about it."
son.
They would just I would yeah, listen to this. They kinda would just like, especially Justin would just say, like, "The people that win and the people that do well, are switched on up here." He would always, be like, "Yeah, you need to be switched on up there," and, like, that's half the reason why, like, Ricky finished on the podium because he's just, like, mentally tough. He just gets on with it sort of thing. So, like, they didn't sit me down, but I just kinda picked up and I was like, "If I wanna do well this year, I need to change what I've been doing in the, like, at the games and then, like, the year before. I need to just enjoy it and then just focus on the next event. If it doesn't go well, just forget about it, focus on the next event and make up for it," sort of thing.
Was that an easy shift?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it wasn't too bad.
Did any of it crop up, like say during the games? Was there any points where you were like, you piece of shit?
Uh, nah, nah, the first workout, I
What
sucked
was
at
the
that.
first one?
The sled pull? Oh,
Oh
wait,
yeah,
was it did
okay.
you say the games or
Oh, either.
semifinals?
Either. I'll take either.
Semifinals, I was annoyed because normally I'd beat myself up more, but
Yeah.
I was still
That's
annoyed. I was like,
that's a hard workout as well because you have so much thinking time. Like when you're just
"Yeah,
like running on the treadmill, you're like all you're thinking about is the last thing that you did or how much is left ahead of you or whatever. So it's a mentally grueling one.
yeah, yeah, yeah."
Um,
So I think I finished like 16th in that, and I just was like, Well, great start to the weekend, Bailey." Like, you want to make the games and you're going 16. That's a good start.
was there anyone from Underdogs
But
there? Was Justin there, or am I misremembering?
nah, Ricky
Was
was
there
there.
anyone there? Well, yeah. There was no coaches there though. So were you having calls with your coaches
Nah.
afterwards?
Nah, because I think the time zone was a bit different. So like
Yeah.
they would watch and then they'd watch the first two events on the day or the first event, and then they would be going to sleep pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'd message me in the morning or whatever.
Um, and then at the game, so you had more of a coach, like like an on hand person at the games, then compared to
Yeah,
other years where you've been competing and stuff, and other competitions and
yeah.
other like semifinals and stuff. Did that make a change for you? Do you feel?
Oh yeah, it helps. Kiefer helps so much.
Yeah.
I was like having trust issues with him because I had like saw like my knee was playing up before the games and my shoulders were annoying me. I didn't want to tell him because was like, "Oh, I'm complaining all the time about my shoulder and my knee." So I just wouldn't tell him anything, and then he would just keep putting stuff in the program, and I'd be like, "Why am I doing this like a week out before the games?" And I wouldn't message him back, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I like Kiefer." But then when we got to the games, he was really good. It all paid off.
Yeah, I think everyone has this. Like even people who he doesn't coach have the same relationship with Kiefer, where they're like, "Do I like Kiefer or not like Kiefer?" And then yeah, he
Yeah,
gradually. He
yeah.
won't watch this anyway. He only watches this show when his girlfriend is on it, so he won't watch this. Or
Yeah, okay.
that's the only time
He hey,
I've ever seen him watch.
he might watch it because 'cause I'm on here. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that you're assuming you're at the same level as Kyra though, and I'm not sure that's true. Um, So, did he like did that result in like did that come to a head of like an argument or anything? Then hit you like was he like Bailey, you're not fucking
Yeah.
messing me back, and I'm giving you programming and blah blah, or was it just like have you talked about
He
that
yeah,
since?
he did tell me, like, I think it was when we got to medicine, he was like, "You need to tell me, like, what's going on, like, if something's happening, tell me about it so I can adjust," and all that sort of stuff, but I was like in my head, I was like,
He
"You're not
meets you
gonna
at
listen."
Madison, and
Yeah.
he might meet you at Madison, and both your arms are in slings, and you're like walking with a limp.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and then eh, like as the games as a whole, then compared to the last time you were there, were you more confident, more relaxed? Were you able to enjoy it? Like, were you, because that seems to be a common theme that people go to the games and then when they come back to the games, they kind of banish the demons of the first time and they like, oh, I was able to enjoy
yeah.
it more. I was able to be more present. I was able to show a better side of myself, whatever. Does that feel like it was true for you as well?
Yeah, yeah, I think if you do bad, you know that and you, like, don't wanna remember I didn't wanna remember the 2017 games as a teenager, so I knew that I needed to enjoy it and make the most of it because, like, this could have been my only year going to the games, so, like, you never know, so you have to enjoy it, make the most of it,
Yeah.
and then create memories so you're not going, "Oh, man, I did spent 9 years doing CrossFit and I hated every year of it."
Um, you finished 12th this year.
Yeah.
How did that stack up against your expectations going in? Like, were you like, had you a number in your head, or was it just about enjoying it and being able to like want to remember it
Um
afterwards?
Yeah, no, I wanted to finish the games, that was my main goal. Finish the game, so, like, complete the full, complete Sunday, so finish in the top 20,
Yeah,
and I wanted to see how close I could get to the top heat, if I could even get in the top heat for a workout.
yeah.
So, finishing, like, being in close, like, trying to get into the top 10 most of the weekend, that was pretty cool. I didn't expect that, but I didn't expect it, to be honest, yeah. I didn't expect it to go
Mhm.
that well.
And are you enjoying remembering it now, like more than like
Yeah,
having not wanted to remember your last time?
yeah, yeah, no, it's good, it's good, like, when people ask, I'm like, I can say, "Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it, it was so much fun." Where last year it was kind of fake. Oh, not last year, last time, I was like, "Yeah, it was so much fun when I did." It was
Yeah,
like, I hated it,
people
I
being
hated
like,
it.
"Oh, it must have been so cool," and you're like, "Yeah, that's great. I really enjoyed
Yeah, yeah, stop asking me about it.
it." um, I feel like there has to be a word missing from this question from Chugs. How hung was Bailey at the comp this weekend? I assume he means hung over and not just like how big was his penis at the weekend.
Wait, what the hell is that? Wait,
Were you
this weekend, like,
last weekend?
the games?
No, this weekend
The
is
one that the little
he didn't appear. Did
comp
you
I did
not
in
go?
Auckland?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that is that the one they're talking about? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what he means by that. I wasn't hung.
Were you hung over at it? No.
I wasn't hungover.
Okay. Well, Chugs, if you're still there, you can
Yeah, I
explain.
don't know.
Maybe he, I don't know, stood beside you at
What
your
did I
Royal
do
or something.
after? We drove back home, back to Rotorua after the comp. I wasn't
Yeah, I don't know.
hungover at all.
Um, there's Zach. He's a Oceania as well, isn't he? I think daily training tip. I think. That was in reference to Justin Kotler telling you to take your medicine. I think the reality check. Um,
Yeah.
so you're back now. You're going to Down Under Championships. And a lot of people thought you were going on a
Yeah.
team, but you're not.
No, I am.
Are you? With who?
Uh, Oh, I don't know. Are we allowed to say?
I mean, you're
Or is
asking.
it?
You could not be asking a worse person. Are you allowed to say? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Is it?
I don't know if I'm
Is
supposed
it?
to say. I
Is
don't know
it?
if it's supposed to be a surprise or not because we haven't
If I looked at
we haven't posted
your
anything.
last couple of Instagram posts, would I be able to work out pretty quickly who's on the team?
Man, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. Uh,
Yeah, I think I figured it out. Cause yeah, okay. Cause I saw. God, I hate secrets. I saw someone put up a
God.
post about you and them and another person, and then I saw that same person put up a story being like, "This isn't an announcement of a team. I'm going individual.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know about the other two guys, but I'm going individual." So then okay, so it is that team. Hypothetically,
Maybe,
like, yeah, I don't
maybe,
know. Like, nobody from down on the
maybe.
championship is going to watch this shit, so it doesn't matter. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Right. Okay. I really, like, thoroughly enjoyed that post you put up yesterday. I'm going to bring it up because I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Um, this might be outing your. That's fine. How do I find you now, Bailey? You're not in my recents. No offense.
Oh, shit.
Um,
You better be following me, or else I'm going to end it in this podcast.
well, I don't want to annoy you. No, I think I am. We'll find out in a
No,
second.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, bring it up.
So yeah, everyone vote. And you found the three best pictures you could of you. Yeah, looking pretty good. Jake, yeah, looking pretty good. Traps about as big as they ever are.
Yeah,
And then poor old Jay.
yeah,
You really did him dirty there. And I laughed because
yeah,
I was like looking at it
yeah,
being like, I was like, vote. Like, what kind of a weird And then I like clicked and I was like, why is he wanting us to vote? Oh, I get it now. I was like, now I understand.
yeah,
I understand the purpose of the post.
yeah.
So that's cool. Okay, so uh you're going team. Is that these guys' team?
Yeah, it's a frog rip team. I'll just say
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I've worked out the team now anyway, so that's fine.
that.
Okay, that's cool. Look, more detail. I've literally just told you what the team is without telling you what the team is. Spill the beans. I've literally just shown you the two pieces of the puzzles that you need to figure out who's on the team. I've just shown you I've shown you who the sponsor is and who the teammates are. Um, so it's
Yeah.
fine. And Bailey didn't tell me anything. He didn't confirm it. He didn't deny it.
No.
I just worked out that
Well,
it's him.
you'll see the announcement,
Yeah, we'll
and
see
then
the announcement
you'll be
of.
surprised.
We'll be
You'll
shocked
be
when we
like,
see
"What?"
Bailey, Jake, and Jay announced on a team or whatever the team hypothetical team might
Yeah,
be.
you see, you don't know.
My jaw will be on the floor. Okay, so you're doing down under championships. What else? Anything else? Dubai? Did you do the road qualifiers? Are you doing Dubai? Like, what else have you got in mind?
Doing road, I got invited, so I didn't have to do the qualifiers.
Excellent, and you're going to it, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm
That's one of
excited for
those
that.
ones that I love hearing people, especially when it's their first time doing it, because you get made such a fuss over. Like compared to, it's
Yeah.
like it's a similar level of hype to that registration bit at games where it's like, oh my
Mm.
god, it's Bailey Martin. Let's give him all this stuff and let's make a massive fuss and whatever. Like it's cool. Like I like
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be
that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm glad I didn't have to do the qualifiers.
and when so what are you doing for that? That's like Halloween week kind of. So are you going over to Vegas first? Are you going straight to Texas or what's the plan?
I think we're going straight to Texas. I haven't decided yet, but I think straight to Texas. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kiefer did say come to Vegas, but
that's easy
I
for
don't know.
Kiefer to say.
Yeah.
Um, and then what's after that? Down under championships is next after that, is it? Are you doing Dubai? No,
No, I didn't get an invite to Dubai, and I probably won't do the qualifiers or anything. So
because
I
down
think
under
it's
is
just
like
down.
pretty close to Dubai, isn't it? Aren't they like 2 weeks apart or something? Or no, is down under in January?
Yeah. No, down unders start of December. Like I think it's like the 5th or first weekend of December or something. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure.
So it's basically the
I didn't
same
know.
weekend as Dubai then. Um,
Yeah.
and what about Wadapalooza?
Yeah, I got invited to that, like, 2 days ago.
Cool. Is that
Yeah. Uh,
individual, or are you going to do a team as well, or what do you think?
I would like to do indie for that one,
Yeah.
but because isn't the, team competition, like, separate now? It's
Well, it was last
somewhere
year.
else.
Last year you could do both.
Yeah.
No, I think
Uh,
no, they are. It's not. No, this year in January anyway, as far as I know, there's team qualifiers and there's individual qualifiers, and they're both on in Miami in January. But the way it was
oh,
last
yeah.
year was that you could potentially do both. Some people did both. They did individual, or they
Yeah.
did individual and then team. But then
Yeah.
separate to that, they're also doing another event in September on the West Coast. And
Oh, yeah,
I don't know
September,
what the
yeah.
structure of that's going to be, but I assume it'll be individual and team the same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's not. So you can still you surely get your frog grips boys over there for that as well. Team of three, team of three, team of three men. Hypothetical team of three men. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so Wadapalooza. Wow, so this is like your first proper year of like, you've come a
Yeah,
long way, and
definitely, yeah.
I don't mean any disrespect to like New Zealand nationals or any of the other like Oceania region competitions, but like it's a
Yeah.
big step up to go games, rogue, down under, Wadapalooza, semi-finals.
Yeah.
Like that's a big year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Are you
Definitely.
how is that are you finding it exciting or like nerve-wracking or anything, the fact that you've all this like these big steps in such a short
Uh,
period of time?
no, I'm excited. I can't wait to compete at Rogue and then Wadapalooza. Like, that's so far away
Yeah, yeah.
right now, but no, it's cool. I didn't compete at Down Under last year. I should have, but I didn't qualify because I was pretty dusty after coming back from America. And yeah, Down Under will be fun team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We look forward to we look forward to that announcement. Um,
Yeah.
so then what else around that do you think, will all of your training and everything would be Brisbane based? Are you planning on trying to get to Vegas at any point? Are you trying to get them? They're coming over for Down Under, aren't they? Isn't there there's a big underdogs contingent coming over? I think, as far as I heard, there's a female team of three as well, and fuck, I hope I was allowed to say that. Ah, it doesn't matter, it's fine. But there's a female team. I've
Oh,
said it twice
yeah,
now.
I
There's
don't
a
think you
female
will.
team of three going over, and I'm pretty sure.
No, it
No,
hasn't been announced yet. You spoiled the news.
no, I'm 95% sure that it was said on this show by someone who's on the team. Yeah, it
Oh,
definitely
yeah, I didn't
was.
even know. I didn't even know there was an underdogs thing happening at Down Under. They didn't tell
Well,
me this.
why would they tell you? Like, I'm the person they should be telling. No, I'm pretty sure. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure that one of the girls. I'll just pull up this comment and I'll just leave it sitting there. But I'm pretty sure that like the first girl on that list said it on the show. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Um,
Yeah.
and then, oh God, I really hope she said it. I'm pretty sure she did. Um, so yeah, so I think they'll be going over for that. Presumably, they'll have a decent showing at that, like coach wise. And are you going to try and get to Vegas around? If you don't go for a rogue, do you think for Miami you might like hang around a bit, or like what's your plan?
Yeah, I'd like to go there and train a little bit.
Would
It's
you
just like,
would you manage the stretch from Wadapalooza to the Open, or is that too long?
nah,
Too
I'm
long.
nah, too long.
You'd probably be better off going Wadapalooza and then going back for quarterfinals or something, because that's like more.
Yeah.
You might need more
Yeah.
help at quarterfinal. Like the Open isn't. No disrespect to the Open, but it's not really as important for people like you
Nah,
compared to
nah, it's not. You
quarterfinals.
just yeah, I do shit in open anyway. So
um, and then Torian, do you pay attention to you know potential changes to the season and stuff? Like there's been a lot of talk since the game's finished about that it's going to be a reduced field, or that it might be a different qualification process, or that like things might change. Do you care? Like, do you just say like, oh, just whenever I find out what happens, I'll react then?
yeah, I don't care. Like, we get 3 spots, so, like, I don't think if we get 2, that would suck, but I don't think our region will change much. Like, we've always been wanting more spots, but I just kind of don't think about it because it's probably not going to change. We're probably just going to have 3 again this year. Just go there, do my job,
Mhm.
qualify for the games. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you still have 3. I'm not so sure. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
okay, and then so games is obviously you've got a taste for it now, and you just that's it. You want to keep going back.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to, I don't know, move my way up, next year.
A
I don't know,
permanent, a
stay in
permanent,
the s
permanent fixture in the first heat.
yeah, 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 I wanna stay in the top heat. That'd be my goal, and then, I don't know, see if I can compete for top 5, but, like, it's just, um, hard saying that because, like, it's your first games, like, a lot of rookies do well on their
Mm,
first games, and they come back and there's heaps of pressure, but, like, I know that this games went well, like, the programming was suited more towards me, there was no swimming, handstand push-ups aren't, like, a huge strength of mine, and they weren't in there. The ergs were all, like, kind of disguised in workouts that suited me more, so, like, the games suited me, but hopefully that just makes me train harder next year for, like, the stuff that wasn't in there, so, like, when it pops up, I'm ready, and I'm not gonna be, like,
mm,
30th because of the programming.
that's fair.
I wanna be
Um,
Yeah, I wanna be good.
before the games, you went to Mayhem with the Torian team, is that right? And you were
Yeah,
kind of hanging around
yeah,
Cookville and stuff.
yeah.
So just when you mentioned at the start that you saw a Rich Froning video in 2013, did you like shit your pants when you walked into Cookville, or like how did you handle that? Were you like
He
casual on the outside, be like, "Oh, hey, Rich, how are you? Nice to meet you," and then on the inside, being like, "Fucking hell."
Yeah, he was, I think he was in, he was doing some sort of event,
Oh, the
some in
Leadville.
Michigan. No, he was in, Michigan doing something at the time, so he wasn't
Okay,
there when we first got there, but when we went to Mayhem, that was pretty cool, like, just seeing it on YouTube and stuff and being
yeah.
actually at the gym. But when we went to his barn, that was sick. That was so cool. I was being like a little fangirl looking at that and stuff. But, I think he seen us in the gym the next day, and I was on my phone looking at buddy reels, and he said, "Morning, guys," and I didn't even say anything. So I was like, "Oh," like, haven't, like, met him really ever, and then I'm the guy on my phone when he says hello, so that was a great start.
Did you talk to him again after that?
Uh, Not really. He kinda just was doing his own thing because he was, preparing for his bike ride, so
Yeah.
he was
I'd
mountain biking
say
most of the
I
time.
imagine the way that Mayhem works, they probably assessed the season and they were kind of chatting about him and Rory and the rest. They were kind of chatting about what went well and what didn't. They were like, well, look, we have to get our team sorted now for next year, see what 4 we'll put. Like Angelo, does he want to go again? Who we put there? It was kind of nice having the Torian guys over. Not Bailey. I don't want that Bailey guy back because like he was just
Yeah.
always on his phone. Every time I saw him, he was on his phone. I like to think as well that like you're like, no, I wasn't really talking to him after that. He's just doing his own thing. And like Marnie or someone will be watching this being like, he was talking to us that day when you were like on your
Yeah.
phone. He's talking to us for 2 hours and you were just like
Yeah, yeah,
watching
yeah.
reels of cats or whatever.
I was
Uh,
watching him on YouTube.
yeah, yeah, you're watching, yeah, yeah, watching him do grace, and he's like standing in front of you. Um, okay, well, I'll let you go. Thanks, for coming on. It's been great to chat to you. It's a pleasure spending a bit of
Yeah,
time with you in America as well. It's been great to chat to you. Best of
yeah,
luck with Rogue. That's very exciting, and Down Under and Wadapalooza. That's great. Didn't realize Wadapalooza invites were going out yet, so that's cool. Probably another thing we shouldn't have said in hindsight, but
yeah,
fuck it.
yeah, probably. Yep.
In for a penny, in for a pound. We'll just we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, best luck with your big year. It's exciting. It's great, and you are important as an individual. You're not more important than anyone, but you are important as an individual.
Kind of important. Yeah.
There's one last. This question's been asked twice by the same person. Does Rotorua stink for you? Are you used to it? Does Rotorua stink for you? Is that the town? That's the town you're from?
Yeah, it's, like, famous for smelling like, what is it, sulfur? Like, they have, like, the mud pools and the sulfur, like, pools and stuff like that around Rotorua, and it smells like rotten eggs. Some places. Like there's a road if you drive past, and you'll think someone farted in the car, and then you go, "Oh no, it's just Rotorua." It's not everywhere, but there's like one road. So yeah, it does stink still.
That's crazy. Um,
Yeah,
there's Beck's agreeing it does stink. I assume Beck is from New Zealand as well.
probably from Rotorua. Yeah.
Um, are you going to jump ship? I assume, does that mean, are you going to leave Oceania? Is the question. I don't really understand that question, but I'm
I don't
guessing they
know.
mean, are you going to move to America? Maybe. Hardly.
Nah. Oh, I haven't thought about anything. Nah, I like Brisbane.
Yeah, Brisbane's cool. I think if I was going to live
Yeah.
anywhere, if I was going to move, I'd move. Like if I don't know, if I went through a horrific divorce or something, I think Brisbane is where I'd go. Like I don't think
Jeez.
if I went through a normal divorce, I think I'd stay local. You know, I'd want to be close to my family and stuff. But it was like if it was like horrible for some reason, like if something awful happened, I think Brisbane is
Yeah.
my like destination, my like
Wait,
far
are
away
you
place
married?
to live. I'm married
Are
with
you
two
married?
kids, but I just mean if it went awful, like if something really horrific happened.
Why would you say that?
Because it's the only like I'll never move my actual family.
So okay, so if you move to Brisbane, I'll know what's happened.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I'm never talking to my family again if I move to Brisbane. They've all the three of them, like my 2-year-old, my 3-year-old, and my wife have all done something absolutely abhorrent to me, or I messed
Yeah,
something up so badly that I move across for one or the other. That I messed up
yeah,
so badly that I never speak to my family again.
yeah,
But no, I think I see the issue is that my wife and I are both teachers, and then our kids like grandparents and everything live here. So like I think if it wasn't
yeah,
for the fact that their grandparents are all around, I'd say we potentially could be like, oh fuck it, we move to wherever for a couple of years and see blah blah.
yeah, yeah,
I'd say Brisbane would be. It just seems like a really cool city because like it's like Torian is there, the Torian Pro is there,
yeah,
weirdly all the people, all the fit apart from Jay, all the fit people that I'm kind of friendly with from Oceania all live in Brisbane, which is weird.
yeah,
And then LSKD is there as well, and you know it just seems like a
yeah,
cool. It kind of
yeah.
seems like
It's a good place.
The Madison of Australia. Is that accurate? Kind of chill, relax, but fit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You could say that. Yeah, yeah.
Not worth getting a divorce for, but it's good, maybe
No.
nice to visit sometime. Again, it's so far away though that I feel like if I was visiting it, I'd need to be there for like 3 weeks minimum. You couldn't just be like, "Oh, I'm going to Brisbane for 5 days." Like
Yeah,
it has to be a long term.
yeah. It's there for a
Um.
decent chunk
Anyway,
of time.
thank you. Thanks for coming on. It's been great to talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you.